But we begin here with the massive protests across the country against gun violence following the massacre in Uvalde, Texas. Thousands turning out in cities and towns at more than 400 rallies organized by March for Our Lives, the group founded by student survivors of the Parkland High School shooting in 2018 that claimed the lives of 17 people. And perhaps a sign of the time, the Washington rally was briefly interrupted by loud sounds that some in the crowd thought were gunshots. Turns out it was a false alarm. Today in Uvalde, Texas, the funeral for 10-year-old Lexi Rubio, who was killed in the shooting at Robb Elementary. This photo taken with her parents, Lexi holding the Honor Roll Award she received on the day she died. Her now grieving parents this week testified before Congress demanding action on gun violence. A bipartisan group of senators is still in talks on possible reform. ABC's Ike Ajachi leading us off from Washington.
Across the country tonight, demonstrators outraged by the mass shootings in Buffalo and Uvalde, demanding tougher gun safety laws.
Reasonable gun control is all we're asking for. We're not taking people's guns away. We're just saying nobody should have military-style weapons to be able to go into schools and kill huge numbers of kids within just minutes.
Thousands gathering in the nation's capital for the March for Our Lives rally. A lot of these protesters I spoke to say they have a connection to a gun violence incident, making this fight personal. More than 400 demonstrations taking place today in cities big and small. Tonight, President Biden showing his support.
Yes, keep marching. It's important. Look, this has to become an election issue.
Nearly 90% of Americans support universal background checks and red flag laws. A bipartisan group of senators now trying to hammer out a narrow deal of possible reforms.
My hope is that we'll be able to deliver good news to you, transformative news to you soon, because this country needs it.
Tonight, the family of Robb Elementary School student Lexi Rubio holding the 10-year-old's funeral in Uvalde. Meanwhile, in Oxford, where 4 high school students were killed just last year, protesters calling for immediate action.
Slaughter is too easy in this country, and it needs to stop.
That sense of growing frustration. Ike Ajachi joining us now from Washington. And Ike, some governors not waiting for Congress to do something. What more are you learning about these states potentially working together to address issues of gun violence and school safety?
That's right, Whit. Overnight, the National Governors Association announcing it'll form its own bipartisan panel to make recommendations on how to stop mass shootings. Still, like what we're seeing in Congress right now, that group will likely face challenges finding common ground on how to combat gun safety reform. Whit.
All right, Ike, thank you. And be sure to tune into This Week tomorrow morning. Almost a decade after the Sandy Hook massacre, Martha Raddatz sits down with survivors to discuss the trauma they endured and their hopes for change in America's gun laws.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.